Hello everyone and welcome back to another Chainsaw Man chapter review video. Now today we are talking about one of the most confusing chapters of Chainsaw Man so far, chapter 173 titled Hard of Hearing. And well, we know exactly what happened at the end of last chapter, and of course the first half of this chapter leads into what was explained or shown to us in the last chapter, but the second half has left me incredibly confused, and so I want to use this video to essentially just get every single one of you to leave a comment down below telling me your theories, because I believe that is exactly what Fujimoto's intention was with this chapter, essentially just to confuse us. But before we get into it, I would like to ask if you could leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Chainsaw Man content, as well as a plethora of other shonen series. I would appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much, and let's get right into the chapter, which, like I said, starts off just where we left off with the erasure of the ear devil, which has left every single being on this earth without ears at all, meaning that they cannot hear a thing. Elephants have no ears, cats have no ears, and of course humans have no ears. They are dropping their phones because they cannot hold them against their ears. It is complete insanity. As we move further in, you can see that nobody can hear anything at all, and that public safety are trying to scream at these people being held that the erased devil's name is Ear, spelled Echo Alpha Romeo Ear. What did you say? Ear. They're screaming, they can't obviously hear each other. They're saying, excluding cases like an individual's name, raise your hand if you know this word. Erasure of ear confirmed. Team C commence operation. So what this is telling me is that nobody knows, like we talked about in the last chapter. Now, the concept of ears as a whole have been completely erased. So nobody has a clue what the word ear means, and they can't understand why they can't hear each other. So they're shouting words and they can't hear anything, and nobody else can hear them. They don't understand why, because they have never had the thought of an ear existing now. The complete and utter concept of an ear existing is now non-existent. So they're all like, what the fuck does ear mean? It's, you know, they're spelling it out in that, like, saying this is the word, but we have no idea what this word means. It is so interesting. It's completely wild, and I can't believe that Fujimoto decided to go this way with this story. But when we get past all of this, this is where it starts to get really confusing for me. And again, leave your theories down in the comments, please, because I want to hear them so goddamn badly, because I don't have a clue what's going on here. So there's a couple of public safety members, presumably, in the toilet, and this guy proceeds to pick up scissors and chop his finger off. His finger falls into the sink, he picks it up and begins to write the word HIT, H-I-T, whilst saying in his mind, cervical spine, neck, vertebrae, and then H-I-T are spelt on the mirrors, essentially, of the bathroom. What the hell this means, I have no idea. But it's a good idea to almost, spell words out with your blood when nobody can hear each other. But this is absolute insanity. And the cervical spine, neck, and vertebrae part is what I'm so confused about. Does this mean that these concepts have been erased? I don't think so, right? Like, no, because then a neck wouldn't, he wouldn't have a neck. So that's impossible, right? But I don't get it. I have no idea what is going on here. I need your help and I need your theories, because I'm clueless, genuinely. So another thing. This devil appears and says, hit, ? Sigh, right? What the fucking hell is this devil? The chair looks like some sort of weird arachnid looking creature looking thing with like loads of finger. Oh wait, is this the finger devil? This might be the fucking finger devil. Holy shit. But why is the chair a man? I don't understand. I have no idea. But I just noticed now that the things on that chair are fingers. So is this the finger devil then? And if this is the finger devil, then Maybe the finger devil's going to become one of the strongest things. Why are they all chopping off their fingers? Maybe it's through the influence of the finger devil. Who knows? But all we know is that this might be the finger devil. We've got a new devil in play, and it is called, possibly, the finger devil. As we switch POVs back to Pochita though, Pochita is obviously continuing the rampage and ends up coming into contact with this devil. Now, if this devil somehow gets erased, gets eaten by Pochita, then what the fuck's gonna happen then? I mean, we are seriously in a bind here if that is the case. But before Pochita is able to get his hands on the finger devil, which is what I'm presuming is the finger devil, he's wrapped up by the public safety member, which looks like Yoshida, but I'm not going to confirm that because I'm not going to lie, a lot of them look very, very similar. But this guy uses his powers to essentially get Pochita into a bind, but of course Pochita rips through it, rips the head off of this guy, and the elephant is shown in the last panel with his ears back. Oh fucking hell, I am an idiot. I just realised, this is funny, this is the best thing about a Raw Thoughts video. God, this is going to be the worst video ever, but he's regurgitated the ear devil. The elephant has his ear back. Fucking hell, holy shit, that's huge. Yeah, public safety have, yeah, that's why they say, oh, nice one, human. Jesus Christ, Ryan, Jesus. I only read it once before I recorded, to be fair, so my bad. But, so that makes sense. So, the kind of wraparound thing that Pochita had from this human, this public safety member, has forced him to regurgitate the ear devil. So the ear devil has been restored, meaning that elephants, like you can see there, have their ears back. So all of the humans do also have their ears back, which makes a hell of a lot of sense because I did not think Fujimoto would add into the story essentially the entire rest of the story having none of the characters being able to hear each other at all. It was unrealistic, and a lot of people did point that out in my comments in the last video, so yeah, that does make perfect sense. Pochita has regurgitated the ear devil, so the ears have returned to human beings, but regardless, we need to talk about what's going to happen in the next chapter. Ears are back, cool. We can all hear each other again, cool. Great news. However, are we going to now, are we going to eat the finger devil? Like, what is going to happen? Pochita's rampage is going to continue, I'm going to assume. Does this mean, obviously he's regurgitated the ear devil. Does this mean that he can throw up more devils? Does this mean that ones that he ate in the past were able to be regurgitated? Who knows? We will find out in the next chapter. Does Pochita digest these devils, or do they just sit in his stomach or whatever? Who knows? All we know right now in terms of being confirmed is that Pochita has regurgitated the ear devil. The ear devil is back in play, meaning that ears are now in existence. They are a thing in the world again. And this whole thing was essentially just to show us what can happen if Pochita eats a devil, and how fearful that could be for the rest of the world. Probably reinforcing my personal theory that Pochita is going to eat the death devil. And when he eats the death devil, that's what's going to be the end of this story, because either one of two things could happen. In my view, either Pochita eats the death devil, and that means that the concept of death is erased from the world, and what that means is that every single human has eternal life, because if death doesn't exist, then nobody can die. Do you know what I mean? But either that, or the second thing, the most Fujimoto-like, the most twisted ending that could happen, is that Pochita eats the death devil, and because of the erasure of the concept of death can only not exist if the concept of life also does not exist, because to live is to essentially fear death, which is why a primal devil is the death devil, why the death devil is the strongest devil of all time. The reason people fear death is because they want to live. But if the death devil's erased, if the concept of death is erased, then maybe the concept of life is also erased, because, well, if you're not scared of death, then are you, is the concept of life even necessarily a thing? Because then you won't be attached to the idea of living. So maybe the death devil causes the literal death of every single being on this planet, and the story ends with the essentially erasure of the entire planet, the entire universe of Chainsaw Man. It would be a Fujimoto batshit crazy basket case ending, just like I would expect from him. I would like to know what you think about that in the comments as well. But that is the way that I could potentially see this story going. And I believe showing us the Ear Devil, showing that he can regurgitate them, by the way, but also showing that the erasure can cause so much stress and can essentially just ruin the world for a couple of minutes, shows what Pochita can do and how dangerous the erasure of any devil could be for the existence of beings in general on this earth. So I think this is a great chapter. In terms of the last two chapters kind of bundled up together, I think they've both been fantastic. Not just in terms of action, because it's obviously wild seeing Pochita in action, that's great, but I just think the reminder of how dangerous Pochita's ability is a really great thing. And I think it's going to lead into the final chapters of part 2, as we're probably going to be entering a fight against the Death Devil. I genuinely think that's how it will go. But please do tell me what you think about that down in the comments down below. I'm going to leave a couple of Chainsaw Man videos on the screen, including my last video that went out yesterday about Power's return to the story, which is, for me, one of the last remaining plot threads from part 1. If you would like to check that out, I would appreciate that a lot. As well as hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel if you want to see more Chainsaw Man videos and other Shonen series videos from me in the future as well. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.